One of my favorite things about carrying a camera is that it catches moments people don't realize they are giving you. While everyone else is walking ahead, I'm usually a few steps behind. And somehow that's where all the best shots happen. On this walk, I found myself filming these two, my husband, Steven, and his brother, Richard. Just two brothers wandering through the woods, nothing dramatic, no big conversations, just walking side by side with little chats. Looking back at the footage later, I realized I'd captured something I hadn't really noticed at the time. The easy kind of friendship that doesn't need much effort. What's funny is that my hubby once told me they weren't always this close. When they were younger, they mostly did their own thing. They got on perfectly well, but they weren't the sort of brothers who talked about everything or spent loads of time together. Then, 2 years ago, my hubby came back to the UK after living in China for 9 years. By then, they weren't the same people they'd been in their 20s. Life had changed. They'd both grown up a bit, and somewhere along the way, they started hanging out. Nothing fancy. They just grab a coffee, went around the town, stop here and there, and chat about whatever came to mind. No agenda, no occasion, just time together, Since then, we've shared quite a few adventures together. Walks through the countryside, weekend road trips, long afternoons where nobody is in a rush to be anywhere else. Those are some of my favorite days. Then came moving house. Richard all of a sudden became the unofficial expert in lifting everything that was far too heavy. He stayed late, came back on weekday evenings to help us unpack, and never made a big deal out of it. It reminded me of when we first moved back to Britain. He spent hours helping us build furniture, flatten cardboard boxes, and sort out all the little drops nobody ever puts on a moving checklist. Here's something else I've noticed. These two still tease each other constantly. If one says something ridiculous, the other is guaranteed to point it out. They are not exactly experts at saying, "I appreciate you." In fact, I'm not sure either of them would know what to do with a long, emotional conversation. But the funny thing is, if Richard doesn't reply to Steven's messages for a day, Steven doesn't just assume he's busy. He gets in the car and he drives over to check that everything's alright. No drama, no announcement, just thought I'd make sure you were okay. I don't think either of them would call that affection. They'd probably just call it common sense. Then one of them needs help, and somehow the other is already at the door. Whether it's carrying furniture, building wardrobes, unpacking boxes, or simply turning up after work because there's still more to do, they just get on with it. Maybe that's what brotherhood looks like. Not saying much, not making a performance out of kindness, just quietly showing up again and again. I think that's a pretty cute, wonderful thing, and I'm really glad my camera happened to be walking a few steps behind.